have to babysit them too.
I call to order the Natchitoches Planning and Zoning Committee meeting. I see we have a variance, a re-subdivision, and 2 rezonings tonight. The variance and the re-subdivision will be, the action on that will be final 11 days from today. If an appeal is not filed within 10 days of today's meeting. The rezonings have to go before the city council. They're introduced. The rezoning request, whether it's approved or denied, will be introduced at the March 9 meeting. That's for introduction only. Comments are not supposed to be taken. I usually suggest people show up unless the city council is willing to take comments from somebody who can't be on the 23rd to show up just to be able to respond. The final voting on rezonings from tonight will be on March the 23rd. The process we'll follow tonight is we'll hear from the applicant or his designee. Then we'll hear from folks in favor of the application. Then we will hear from opposition to the application at hand. And then the applicant or his designee as a single individual will have a chance to rebut the comments made in opposition. Then we will flip to discussion by commission members and then votings on the application. I would ask anybody, if they didn't sign coming in, to please do so. When you come to the podium of the AMBO, please identify yourself and please speak into the microphone. Have I missed anything?
No, sir, you haven't.
Roman 2, roll call, Ms. Donna.
Charles Whitehead III.
Here.
Bobby Claiborne.
Here.
Anita Dubois.
Here.
Isaac Lewis.
Here.
Michael Lewis.
Here.
Ricky McAllister. Walter Johnson.
Here.
Miss Sadie Sawyer.
Here.
And Miss Alexa Bernard Conde.
Here.
We
All
have
right,
a quorum.
By my count, that's a quorum. I note that, are we approving, we deferring the minutes?
No, the minutes are here.
Okay, so we will change Roman numeral 3. The minutes have been submitted in your packets. If there are no changes, corrections, or deletions, I'll entertain a motion to dispense with their formal reading and adopt them as proposed.
I so move.
I'll second.
Motion by Claiborne, second by DuBois. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Let the record reflect that I am signing the minutes at this time. Today is March 3. The public is advised that audio and video of tonight's meeting are archived on the city's website, and to watch the video, the users can subscribe to the City of Natchitoches YouTube channel or visit the city's website at https://www.natchitoches.gov/content/meeting-videos. Moving on to Roman numeral 4, old business, subsection A. The City Council delayed the application by Mr. Brian Briggs to rezone the following: a location on an oil mill containing 6.2 acres between Mill Street and the Union Pacific Railroad in Section 77, Township 9 North, Range 7 West of Natchitoches Parish, Louisiana, being a portion of the original track and conveyance book 195, folio 4, from B3 to B3 SE. The reason, operation of a restaurant with the exception to sell alcohol on the premises. The Planning and Zoning Commission meeting is open to the public. That's 110 Mill Street, Exhibit Number 1, Councilperson District Number 1. That was delayed or deferred. Roman numeral 4, old business, subsection B. The City Council approved the application of Mr. Frank Griffin to rezone the following: a lot on the north side of Poet, north by Amulet, east by Johnson, west by Urbach, from R1 to R3 special exception for the operation of a short-term rental bearing municipal address of 208 Poet Street, Councilperson District Number 2, Exhibit Number 2, Councilperson District Number 4. From that, is that all the old business, Madam Director?
Yes, sir.
Roman numeral 5, subsection A, the application by Ms. Pearlie Jackson to subdivide and for the replacement of a mobile home at the following address, following location, Lot 4, Block 4, the Breda Addition Number 2. The reason is to combine lots to reposition and upgrade an existing mobile home, 1409 and 1413 Amelia Street, Exhibit Number 2 in the current packet, Councilperson District Number 1. Summary of the application by the Director.
So Ms. Pearlie Jackson has 2 lots, actually. She has 1409 Amelia Street, and she also has 1413 Amelia Street. The way that her trailer is situated on the lot, it's gone long ways into the lot, deep ways. She's wanted to combine both lots to turn it to where the front door is actually facing Amelia Street. Right now, she has everything she needs for the trailer. The trailer is going to be replaced and upgraded to a 2025 trailer. I need her survey plat for the combining of the lots, and that's the only thing that we're missing right now. But everything else is up to compliance.
So the point would be, it's just the lot line between 1413 and 1409 will go away,
Correct.
and that will free her from the side setbacks and all of that.
Right, she'll still be.
Do you
able to
happen to
make-
know what age the current mobile home is on that one?
I do not. I just
I
know
drove
it's an
by it,
older
pretty
trailer.
old.
It's a pretty old trailer.
Okay. All right, and the administration, or the office, through its administrative procedures, will make sure that she does the setbacks and the.
Correct.
The
Yeah, I've talked
skirting
with
and all, the
the-
parking and all that.
Clayton Homes, I've explained to them what the setbacks will look like, where she needs to place it, and by them combining both lots, she's gonna have more than enough room to suffice for our setback rules.
All right. Is someone here to speak on behalf of the application of Ms. Jackson?
Ms. Pearlie?
I didn't understand.
Come.
Everybody speak up.
Come.
Okay.
They just want to ask you some questions. Just state your name.
My name is Pearlie Jackson. I live on 1409 Amelia Street, and I want to combine 1413 Amelia Street with,
14.
well, the 2 lots to combine together, 1409 and 1413 Amelia Street.
All right. And Ms. Jackson, you understand that Ms. Rock and Ms. Williams will help you through the permitting process and the setbacks and whatever. If we approve you today, you still have to jump over those hoops, but you don't have to come back through us. These ladies will walk you and Clayton Homes through the process.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any questions for Ms. Jackson from members of the commission?
And this is just an upgrade, right?
Upgrade.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Pearlie, how old was that home you're in? It looked to me about 35, 40 years old.
I don't know exactly how old it is, but I know it's old.
She knows that.
Yes, ma'am. How old do you think that is?
It's pretty old, I can tell you.
My name is Sharon Jackson. I'm her daughter.
Yes, ma'am.
That trailer is over 40 years.
That's what I thought.
It's been there. It's been held 4 generations.
Thank you, Ms. Jackson. Any questions for either Ms. Jackson from members of the commission?
No, I'll move we approve.
Wait a second, now, hold up. We got to, is there anyone else that wants to speak on behalf of the application of Jackson?
I got my daughter.
Well, I don't think, let me short circuit it real quick. Is anyone opposed to the application of Ms. Jackson? I mean, okay. So I don't think there's any more reason to, discussion by members of the commission.
No.
No.
All right,
y'all.
commission pleasure.
We approve.
Motion by Lewis, second by DuBois. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. All right, that passes. Ms. Jackson, that'll be final in 11 days unless somebody files an appeal. But just check with either Ms. Donna or Ms. Chantrell, and they'll keep you in the loop. Thank y'all. Yes, ma'am, you can go if you'd like to. Roman numeral 5, new business, subsection B, the application by Ace Commercial Properties LLC to rezone the following 34.6 acres being Lot 2 and Lot 6 of the partition of the Willie LaCaz heirs in Section 87, Township 9 North, Range 7 West, shown on map slide 242B. Each lot containing 17.3 acres and a lot containing 1.0 acres for the partition for the heirs of Willie LaCaz in Section 87, Township 9 North, Range 7 West, being the old home place shown on map slide 242B, 175 Old River Road, Lot 2. The reason is to allow for flexible and responsible development, consistent use of community growth objectives and long-term economic sustainability of the sales, service, and rentals of products and goods and services. Exhibit number 2, Councilperson District number 5. Madam Director, you and I had spoke about this. Unfortunately, this is the way the assessment reads.
Correct.
And that in fact, Lot 6 was already sold off. So technically, this is only Lot 2 and the 1 acre home place. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Do you think we need to amend the application? You think it's good like it is?
I think it's good like it is because this actually came directly from the assessor's office, and according to them, it actually broke it out in their description. So I took exactly what the assessor printed for a description, and I think that'll be fine.
Okay. Any comment, any input from the director? Have you had any comment about this application?
I have comments, but it was mostly inquiries asking what it is. No negative, no positive, no anything, just questions in general. And that's about it, no opposition whatsoever.
And so this, you and I talked about this area in red on the assessor's map that you all have is subject to an avigation servitude, which is a servitude of height because it lines up with the runway. And it appears it's somewhere between 31 and 34 feet is the highest you can build in the red area.
Correct.
The problem is what you're seeing here, and I know this property well down there on Old River, you're seeing a dry picture in 2024. I think the 2016 one, you could see it, it's that red spot is predominantly underwater.
Correct. You can tell by the indentions too, by the color, that it's usually underwater also.
Yes. All right. Would the applicant or his designee come forward?
Try.
No, it's just allergies. It's not gonna help. Hi. Please
Hello.
state your name, sir.
Richard Armstrong.
And Mr. Armstrong, are you the principal of the applicant Ace Commercial Properties LLC?
Yes, sir.
And you heard the summary by the director in the discussions with the chairman regarding this red square. Is that a red quadrangle, I guess, trapezoid, I don't know what it is, about how that's subject to navigation servitude?
Yes, and I actually have already had that submitted. I'm working with Mr. Jonathan Farmer with KSA Engineering, who is the engineering company that the airport works with. And we have an aeronautical study already submitted. I have the study number right here. It takes about 45 days to go through, and I think we're a few weeks into it already.
All right. Tell us what it is that you plan to do on here, Mr. McDonald.
So other than Ace Commercial Properties, I currently own Armstrong Industries LLC. We do business as Trace Reliability. I have an office at right beside NFA off of Kaiser Avenue that I rent. We've been operating out of a few years. I also rent an office off the bypass right across from Alliance 7510, which actually kind of backs up to this property. It's right beside, I think it's Pro Temp, where you put the applications, people put in applications for jobs. We rent that building as well. We also have storage out at Cedar Grove as well. So we kind of are stretched out. What we do is we call on industrial customers in 4 states, 4.5 states, a portion of Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi, and Alabama. And the best way to describe it is we're more consultants. We have lasers for rotating equipment to line up pumps and motors. We have vibration equipment, which is handheld computers. It's heart monitors for rotating equipment, induction heating. So we've been selling these products since 2016. And majority of these products never even make it to Natchitoches. So we go see the customers, we look at what they need. We have manufacturers, these products are manufactured worldwide, but we have a company out of Florida that is the national distributor for these products. So we go consult and we send them out. What's been happening in the past 3 to 5 years is customers are needing more help in not just buying the products and utilizing it themselves. They're needing more education. They're asking us more and more to come and utilize those tools in their plants. They want to hire us to come in and do the work for them because they don't have the expertise or the manpower to do it.
So specifically, Mr. McDonald, are you going to be?
Armstrong.
Armstrong, I'm sorry. I'm looking at something else, Mr. Patsy Armstrong. Are you going to be having is this going to be an office building? Is it going to be storage?
It is going to be
Combination of
an
both?
office building, so, well, I say an office building. It's going to be a metal building, and do y'all have a copy of the proposed site plans?
I don't believe so.
Do y'all have the navigation easement as well?
We don't.
That
We
survey?
just have it depicted on the assessors,
No, they didn't put that one in.
the assessors.
Would y'all like to pass this around?
Sure.
Okay. So currently, this property is zoned IA, and anything that we could do would be almost within those parameters, except it would be I-1, would really be the right definition.
All right. So any questions for Mr. Armstrong from members of the commission? All right, is anyone? Go ahead, Mr. Johnson.
How many buildings you plan on putting there?
One right now. So like I said, we're operating out of, I really got some trailers on that 4th spot. We're operating out of all these places just because, out of necessity. You know, there's not one spot that we could find to actually secure. I want a secure place for, there's 4 of us that work there right now. And 2 of them are gone most of the time because we're covering multiple states. And so, again, this property is industrial agriculture. So if I bought it and put up a lean-to and put some tractors under it, I'd be under, you know, under the rules. But that's not what we want to do. We want to build something nice, because we do have people coming in from out of town, out of state, even out of the country to visit, but to, you know, have meetings and trainings about the products that we carry. So we have people from Miami, from New York, from all over the country that we fly in here and meet with, and I want a nice place for them to show up to.
How you gonna address that water problem?
I don't need that back spot.
Oh, you know.
No, sir.
You just.
Walter, if you'll look and see the properties up in the northwestern corner the southwestern corner of the property. And the abrogation servitude is, this survey shows it's 700 feet away, and it just so happens that that low spot is probably all abrogation servitude, if not
Yeah.
most of it.
Yeah, the real estate agent told me after they accepted my offer, that if he knew he was selling waterfront property, he would've went up on the price, so.
So you're just combining all of your offices into one?
Yes,
one
sir.
location?
Yes, sir. So like I said, we're operating by NFA and the dance studio past Walmart on the left in that shopping center. You know, we have the building right across from Alliance beside Pro Temp. Right now, we're moving some stuff into, so we've been doing this for a while and not causing any disruptions.
Okay.
Any questions for Mr. Armstrong? Anybody in support of the application of Armstrong that would like to be heard? Is there any opposition to the application of Armstrong?
Myself.
Yeah, would you please come forward, ma'am, and tell us your name and let us know? Mr. Armstrong, if you'll sit over here on the front row. Sure. And what I want you to do is I want you to pay attention to what she has to say, because unless the commission members ask you something other than what she says, that's all we're going to hear is your comments to counter whatever this lady has to say. Thank you.
Hi.
Yes, ma'am.
My name's Marie Lacaz. I live at 139 Old River Road, which is the lot right next to Lot 2. I've been there for 30-some-odd years, and that is considered farmland, all of Old River Road. There are no commercial buildings. I have talked to some of the residents there prior to coming here, and also called the office and left a message for them to return my call because I did have concerns. I did not receive any calls. The letter that came from the office said that there was an attachment that I never received. It's just now when I asked that gentleman if I could see that map that I realized y'all were talking about the spot right next to me. That would affect me directly. And not only that, your commercial building would also affect our taxes. I mean, this is my home that y'all are discussing and people's lives. So I'm pretty darn upset about it, to be hearing about it, to not getting the feedback. Y'all just take this, oh, by the way, here we go. I mean, if you're going to turn that into commercial land, you need the owners on there approving it, because that road was a dirt road when I first moved in, dirt road. There was nothing until the city decided to put that back road at the very end so that the trucks could have easy access to the city of Natchitoches. Not a problem. However, those trucks ended up driving our road more than they used that road. So the city decided to take additional spots to make it easier for the trucks to come through. Okay? That added additional traffic to our little road. And the road is just horrible as it was to begin with. So now you're going to add additional traffic, and you're going to let this man supposedly build this commercial property for in the future he could build additional properties. That will also affect me, not to mention the additional noise, the additional traffic. So yes, I have some major concerns. And I would like to see the city of Natchitoches thrive, don't get me wrong. But I also do not want to pay higher taxes if I don't have to. And like I said, this is inherited property, mine is. It's from my husband's family that's been in his care for generations for his family. And it's a God sent to me and my son. So we will be really affected by yours and building it. So if it got approved, I first would ask that you really got the approval of the people on that road, because I know for a fact they would not agree to something like this.
And-
They were really stonewalled. I had talked to them, they said they had called, they had left messages, they didn't get any calls back. The letter itself says, see the attachment, very vague, commercial property. Nobody knew anything about it. If I hadn't decided to come today, y'all would have had a building. Now, it may not be a big deal to y'all, but just imagine in your home, if I decided I'm going to build a home in your backyard and I'm not going to bother to ask y'all anything. Anybody want to take a vote for the rest of it? Yeah, it passed. It's that easy. Seriously? I am so upset with y'all. Seriously. It's just ridiculous that you all just think that you can do it this quick without taking the consideration of all, not to mention, and I'm glad you brought it up, all those storage areas, all that additional stuff that went back there. When those apartments were first built, and I was there, they gave us the courtesy of letting us know that they were going to build it because it added additional traffic and potential issues with the type of traffic they were going to bring. And every single area, including myself, did not even realize that y'all had expanded all of the way to the back. I was looking for a particular person and happened to go back there. I go, well, that explains it.
I'm sorry, Ms. LaCash, you've lost me. Where are you talking about?
The place that he was talking about, the temp agency, the storage area behind there.
I think this gentleman's a tenant there. I don't think.
Right, but you also said you had storage areas behind that. Did you not?
But
I have to rent storage at City Road to keep some trailers.
Oh, okay, then I'm sorry. I misunderstood that
that's right.
portion.
You've got me confused about.
I was confused too from what he was.
No, let's wait till the
Yeah.
end, Mr. Potsy, and we'll get.
So, I will be filing a formal complaint. I will be getting the signatures of the people that live on Old River Road.
Specifically, Ms. LaCass, who did you speak to?
I spoke to Joe Sirs. Do y'all have him on there speaking to him?
And I did
Attorney?
respond to Mr. Sirs. I emailed him back with his questions and his concerns. And he
Okay.
was the only one that reached out to our office. I don't have any recollections, I don't have any notes about any other residents in that area. And the residents, if you don't mind, the people that were actually notified, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 property owners in that area. And the list that we have has Arrington Properties, Assisted and Safe Homes Incorporated, the City of Natchitoches, John and Sally Danley, Cornelius and Shirley Delphin, Maria and Cody LaCaz, Woodyard, Henry and Owens Nelkin, Sears Enterprise, TTT Properties. Those were the only notifications that were sent out. Those are the only properties within 300 feet.
And so,
Go ahead.
go ahead, Ms. LaCass.
No, I was just saying, she's labeling off of these enterprises and everything.
That's the property owners that surround.
Oh, that's
your
the
area.
property
And
owners.
that's
Those
who
are
we
not
sent it to.
businesses, correct?
They're the ones that own the property.
So they're not businesses, they're owners.
They are owners, and that's who we have to notify.
Okay. Okay.
And so, of these people, the only people I know, that Ms. Shirley Delphine and her husband live there, Mr. Sirs live there, and you live there. You're the only ones of the people that are required to be noticed that are actually living on the property. Is that correct?
I'm the only one that's going to be right next door to this gentleman.
That's not my question, ma'am. My question is, of the people on this 300-foot list that we're required to get, according to the City of Natchitoches Code of Ordinances, Cornelius and Shirley Ann Delphine, you and your son, and Mr. Sirs, who evidently has transferred his property to an LLC, are the only residents that are on the 300-foot list as done by the assessor.
No, there's another person that lives right next door to me, between the empty lot that he's talking about. And then there's another gentleman on the
Are you
corner
talking about
of
south
Old-
of his property?
I'm sorry about,
Are you talking about south of the property he's looking at buying?
there's a trailer, did you not?
Yes, that
Okay.
belongs to John and Sally Danley.
Oh, that's,
They live
okay.
out at Three League Gin. They don't live here.
Oh, I'm confused because Mr. Danley said he did live on Old River Road, so I'm
He did-
confused.
John Danley? No, I talked to John Danley yesterday. He and Sally are still living out on Red River, down the way near Ned and Ann Henry.
Okay.
Been there 30 years almost.
Interesting, okay.
So ma'am, you live, what Lance used to say?
Yes, I'm his wife, or was his wife.
So let me make sure I understand what your complaint is, or your concern. One of your concerns is that this gentleman followed the code, paid his $50, filed his application, and provoked a public hearing, and didn't do what?
Oh, I don't care how he filed or did or whatever he did to do. All
Well,
I
I-
care about
you seem
is
to
how
be-
it directly affects me
Well, but
as an
you-
individual,
you
as
came
an
in-
owner of the property next door that he's going to make a commercial property out of.
And you're perfectly within your rights to come here and express your opinion, and I encourage you to do that. But you talked to us like it was already done, like you were mad at us for some reason for taking his application and following.
Oh,
the-
no.
I mean, you need to understand that
I
anybody.
understand.
Anybody that pays is it a $50 fee?
It is.
$50 fee and the $25 to the assessor. Is that right, 25 or $30 to the
It's,
assessor?
I think it's 25, 22 or
You know,
25.
whatever the amount is.
Right.
Combined less than $100, they can ask for something to be rezoned, and they can provoke a hearing, and we're required to have a hearing. The
Okay.
fact that it's on the docket does not mean it's approved, does not mean it's not approved. And just the procedure is typically, the applicant has the burden of showing why he thinks it's good and it needs to be done. So the applicant goes first. The opposition doesn't go first. So I just
Okay.
want to make sure, you seem to be very upset about us having a hearing today and not giving
No,
you the
I'm
appropriate
upset.
notice.
I'm
And I mean, you know, the bottom line is, our office, our administrative office complies with the code of ordinances. And if you think it needs to be 500 feet instead of 300 feet, or if you think there need to be a number of additional signatures on the application, all it takes is 3 council persons and the mayor. But we're operating under the parameter of the code of ordinances as duly adopted by the city council for the administration of planning and zoning in the city of Natchitoches. It does not mean it cannot change with 3 votes from 3 council persons. It can be a totally different procedure. But I
Okay.
mean, we're required administratively to go through this process. Yes, I always encourage people, if they have the sense enough to talk to me ahead of time, to go and sit down with everybody on that list. I tell them the time for people to get information that's on that list is not in this room. You know, not everybody listens. You know.
Well, I'm
So-
sorry, but I tried to call and I didn't get a call back, so I had no alternative to come and find out what was going on. So I'm sorry to waste your time.
You're not wasting my time. This is exactly what we're here for. We're
Okay.
exactly here to get input from the public. And to be honest with you, Ms. LaCaz, I wish more people would show up, because what happens is that we do something somebody doesn't like, but they couldn't take time out of their busy schedule once every decade to come here for a hearing, when myself and my fellow commissioners who serve for free are here every first Tuesday to do the city's business. So, I mean, if people want to participate, I mean, what you've got to remember is this is not a democracy. It's a democratic republic. People are represented. We have 5 council persons that represent the entire city. Not everybody has a vote. There are only 5 votes. And so that's how it works, and it only works better when people participate, like yourself, that show up. That doesn't mean it's going to sway us one way or the other, or Mr. Armstrong, but at least you've got to have the participation to make this thing work. And are there any questions for Ms. LaCaz? I got off on a 9th grade civics rant. I'm sorry about that. Any questions for Ms. LaCaz from the members of the commission?
I just want to ask, when did you get your notice?
Let's see, this is dated February 13th. That's with the stamp on it.
Stamp on
Yeah, so it's probably,
it. So if some of your other neighbors got one, they had plenty enough time to be down here with you, right?
I'm assuming, I don't know. You know, I don't know, I wasn't even aware that she had spoken to Mr. Sirs. Last conversation him and I had, he was upset as I was.
But he's
You
not
know,
here.
But he's not here, and I don't know why.
Thank you, Mr. Kaz. Does anyone else want to speak in opposition to the application of Ace Commercial Properties LLC? Hearing none, Mr. Armstrong, if you will give us a short rebuttal to the issues raised by Ms. LaCaz.
Sure. Mr. Kaz, I hear what you're saying. I live here in Natchitoches. I grew up in Zwolle, went to Northwestern, got an industrial technology degree, and was fortunate enough to get a job out of college in Baton Rouge for one of the world's largest pump, valve, and mechanical steel manufacturers. I was traveling North America when my wife and I started having kids, and I could live anywhere I wanted to, and we chose to live here in Natchitoches, and we moved back to raise our family here. Our 3 girls, my wife's the guidance counselor at the lab schools. So I think when people hear the word commercial, it may scare them. I will promise you that what we put up is not going to be anything that's an eyesore. We want to be good neighbors is our intention. I'm looking for a safe space for my employees, because I will tell you, everywhere that I have rented, I've had problems. I've had employees with their vehicles broken into and things stolen out of it. I've had people beating on the doors. We don't have people coming to our office every day. We don't do that kind of business. We keep our doors locked. We've had people beating on it, wanting in, wanting to know what we're doing. So I'm looking for a safe spot to grow my business responsibly and raise our family and help Natchitoches. You know, the people that work for me have specialized certifications. Level 3 vibration analyst, level 4 vibration analyst. There's not that many running around the country. So we're not just, you know, out in the yard and, you know, with equipment thrown everywhere. And if I don't buy it, I'm going to grow my business either here or somewhere else. And if I don't buy it, with that land being industrial agriculture, somebody could buy it and then put up a lean-to shop and have implements and every other eyesore that you would, you know, see right beside your property. So my intention is to upgrade it. I'm kind of taken aback a little bit by Mr. Joe Sirs, because I actually had a conversation with Mr. Joe. I've known him a long time, and we're on the Rotary together, and I told him my intentions, and he said he was fine, good luck. So kind of taken aback by that. I am going to call him because of our relationship and ask him if he has any other questions. So does anybody else on the board have any questions?
I guess just one, Mr. Potsy, is that one of Ms. LaCaz's concerns was about heavy truck, increase in traffic. I mean, what kind of?
We have four vehicles that are all half-ton trucks, or a truck or Tahoe. We have one, we'll call it a shop truck in case somebody has to get in it from the office and go see a customer and deliver. It's a half-ton truck. I can promise you there will not be anything heavier than a tractor in our facility that is currently, you know, legal to operate in that area.
So it won't be any like 18-wheelers, anything like that passed?
But not now, no, sir. We don't, like I said, we're operating out of Kaiser, off of Kaiser Avenue, right beside NFA. Now, I mean, I can't promise you that like I said, I'm an open book, that we won't get a UPS, you know, LTL vehicle in there or something like that, but, you know,
It's my understanding, if I understand your business model, is that the national distributor drop ships to your customer? Is that how it works? You don't take physical possession of the?
Majority, probably, I would
Unless the
say
small things, I would assume.
80%. So the equipment that we sell are in suitcases. I mean, I say suitcases, Pelican-type cases. Pretty hard to get through an airport, you know, when you walk through that with it. But we do sell some parts and things like that, but again, with the cost of shipping, it's a lot cheaper to drop ship from the manufacturer straight to the customer and then us to go see them in doing that. More shipments mean more people to handle things.
All right, any more questions for Mr. Armstrong? All right, thank you, Mr. Armstrong. Discussion by commission members.
I make a motion, we approve.
Motion by DuBois, second by Lewis. All right, Johnson. Johnson, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Mr. Armstrong, that comes before the city council for introduction on March the 9th. And Ms. Lucas, it's on March the 9th. I suggest you show up. There's not supposed to be any discussion, but if somebody shows up and says they've got a grandkid playing a ball game on the 23rd of March in Houston, there's a possible chance they would hear from them at that deal. I'd be there to speak, only in the event that they grant a dispensation from somebody.
Sure.
But, all right.
I'm missing a tennis match and a softball match tonight, so.
So it's at 5 o'clock right here, Ms. Ross, 5
Yes, sir.
o'clock?
5 o'clock is a pre-meeting, 5:30 is.
5
regular.
o'clock's the pre-meeting, 5:30 is the actual city council meeting. Those dates again are March 9th and March the 23rd. Roman numeral 5, new business, subsection C. The application by Taz LLC, David Zachary applicant. Taz LLC, David Zachary, to subdivide the following lots 4, 5, 6, and 7 of Graham subdivision is per map, book 1, page 482 of the records of Natchitoches Parish, Louisiana, and a lot containing 1.35 acres shown on a plat by NNA Incorporated, recorded at map slide 761A, located in section 46, Township 9 North, Range 7 West, and a 1.05 acre tract lying on the east side of Louisiana Highway 1 bypass, bounded on the north by Graham subdivision, south by Sabine State Bank, as shown on the map, at map slide 761A, less 1.34 acres to Sabine State Bank, bearing municipal address of 5769 Highway 1 bypass. The reason is the extension of current commercial property at the address known as 5771 Highway 1 bypass, exhibit number 3, councilperson district number 1. Comments by the director.
I'm not really sure of all of what they're doing for this commercial property, except for extending the property line.
It looks like, to me, I drove by there today, it looks like they're severing a little bit off of Sabine State Bank and going behind their ops center, going all the way back almost to Welch Street.
Behind the
Maybe
Vito's
app-
property.
Maybe the applicant can tell us why. Of course, I don't know why anybody would want that 50-foot corridor, but anyway, please come forward, Mr. Zachary, and tell us what it
Yes,
is
Mr.
y'all are
Thornton.
doing.
This is Brandon Thornton, land surveyor.
I'm sorry, Brandon.
Didn't recognize it.
I've been looking down.
So Mr. Zachary was going to acquire a 50-foot strip next to his property, and the bank decided they just wanted to go ahead and sell this whole piece the way it is. This tract previously existed exactly like this, and the bank acquired it separately at some point. Then they sold a piece to Mr. Zachary's predecessor over there. It's been cut and recut several times. This tract now is actually going back to the way it was before, and the bank was proposing that Mr. Zachary acquire it in this shape. I think they just kind of wanted to dispose of that strip.
Do you know why they would want, why does this thing go back to Welch Street?
I have no idea why. 200
feet short of Welch Street.
Right, it was like that historically for some reason, but I do not know why.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry, Madam Director, did you receive any comments about this
I
at all?
did not.
Questions from Mr. Thornton about this? It's just really a reallocation of lot lines.
That's all.
That's it.
What are they gonna do with it? Just,
I don't know.
Well, the Zachary's, don't they have that, isn't that rent-all place?
Yeah, Red Line Rentals,
And
yes.
so I guess they want more, they're getting 85 more feet of frontage. I guess it's more place to put stuff is what
Right.
I'd guess.
Yep.
It's not gonna be a separate lot, so they really can't do anything but support the current business. I mean, it's not like we're creating something new and they can do something else there.
Correct.
Is anyone else here to speak on behalf of the application of Zachary? Is anyone here to speak in opposition to the application of Zachary? Discussion by commission members.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. Lewis, second by DuBois. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Madam Director, is this the original, or do you have it?
I have the
All
original.
right. Mr. Thornton, this will be final in 11 days, so I would say, what, on the 17th?
Yes.
On the 17th, you can send somebody by to pick it up. It'll all be signed. I don't know if you know how it works. I know you make the surveys, but what she'll do is, once it's final, she'll bring it to the staff meeting. And so all those department heads are there, and she gets them to sign it all at one time instead of, circulating it around. But either you or Mr. Zachary or somebody from your office will need to take it to Mr. Stamey, record it, and bring her a copy of it showing the map slide, instrument number, date of file. All right, thank you, Mr. Thornton. Roman numeral 5, subsection D, the application by Heath Nichols to rezone the following. Lot on the east side of Cypress Avenue, north by Deason, south by Mrs. Leela G. Hawkins Estate, and described as beginning at an iron pipe, which is 274.8 feet north, 25 degrees, 14 minutes east from the center of College Avenue on the east side of said Cypress Street, and running south 67 degrees, 28 minutes east, 90.4 feet, then run north 23 degrees, 16 minutes east, 34.3 feet, then run south 68 degrees, 58 minutes east, 160 feet, then run south 21 degrees, 55 minutes west, 188.6 feet, then run north 69 degrees, 33 minutes west, 290.6 feet to the point of beginning. To rezone from residential R1 to residential R2 to develop several multi-family duplexes. This is on Cypress Avenue, exhibit number 4 in Commissioner's Packet, Councilperson District number 1. If Mr. Nichols or his designee will come forward while we get a summary from the director.
Mr. Nichols came before us, and he was asking about the surrounding properties of this area. Just about every piece of property that touches his has an R2 zoning. So he wanted to rezone the property, but not entirely sure of exactly what he intends to actually do from beginning to end. He asked about duplexes, so that's what we talked about. So I'll let him explain if he's gonna move forward with that idea. Again, I wanted to show on the map how everything around him was zoned R2.
We didn't get that in our packet.
No,
So, any comments from any of the people?
I did. I have several comments from owners, property owners, from one end of Cypress to the next. They were questioning about what is it that Mr. Nichols is intending to do? What is his idea for the area if it's rezoned R2? If it's gonna be duplexes, will it be apartments? What is he actually wanting to develop?
Okay. Well, to be clear, under R2, you can't build an apartment, is that correct?
Correct.
All right, let's get this up so that we can refer to it.
It's right here. It's gonna be, yeah, make it bigger. Well, not that big. So just make it a little smaller.
There you go, right there. Can you put your zoning overlay?
Not on this one. This is a tax assessor's map,
Okay.
so I won't be able to do it. But just about every property that this property touches is an R2. And you can see it goes from Cypress Street, and it backs all the way back up to the Ackle property.
What about this payroll property or whatever it is down here, and Dr. Cork and Dr. Sills' old office right there? What are those zoned? That's Jennifer Adkins, the
So Dean Dermatology, that's zoned, that's a commercial zoning.
Yeah, but that doesn't
This-
touch it.
Which one did you talk, what is
Well,
it
you
again?
got the Jennifer Adkins right there with about 3 lots right there. That's Dr. Corkins' old office.
Those are, they're not residential, they're commercial zones.
And then, well, and then what about this? Is that payroll right next to them? Or where
Payroll's-
payroll's,
Payroll is a R2.
is that the next one I've forgotten? Is there one between? Okay. All right. All right, sir, please state your name for the record.
Heath Nichols.
All right, Mr. Nichols, you heard the director's summary of your application. Tell us a little bit about what you plan on doing.
I'm trying to put some duplexes on it, and it looks like my engineer drew up around 4 that would fit with parking. And I have actually only printed out like 6 copies of what it would look like. If you guys want to, if I could just pass a few of them around.
I'd like to see it.
Can I walk them over to you?
Sure.
A few of y'all?
You want me to pass them out? I can pass them out if you like.
Well, I'll just keep it in case to view off of it.
What's it, two freestanding, the town?
Yeah.
That, to be honest with you, it doesn't tend to. Sure.
I can go make some copies.
Sure, go ahead. You can take this one, I don't need to see that.
You got it.
Man, that's kind of in line with what's already on it.
Mr. Nichols, are these gonna be like shotguns, side to side, or over and under?
Over and under.
So the entire top floor will be?
Top floor with a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and the bottom floor will be a 2-bedroom, 2-bath.
You want to put 4 of these?
4, yes, sir. It's with the lot, what he drew out, as you can see. As you can see, there's 4 duplexes or 4 housing, like you can see the rooftops right there with the parking in front of them. I think I guess that would be the north side, northwest side, he's got garbage, like for the garbage dumpsters right there. I was actually looking at where the entrance coming in, I was thinking about putting more parking there if we needed it, because it was 70 feet wide. You see it? But my intention is what I want to do, whatever the city requires me to do, I build it up to code, classy places. I've been doing rentals since '98, built my first house in 2001, but I'm also a medical professional and a veteran. I've been building for a long time. I've managed my own property. I don't put up with nonsense. Everybody knows that. Like, I had my banker today call me asking about some property, and I said, I don't like lower income property. I like classy houses, and that's my intent, to keep them nice, up to code, and good tenants.
So you trying to squeeze 4 of these in there?
Yes, sir. That's what there's some built just like this on 28 East in Pineville, and these are the identical ones, and he has 6 on his, but anyway, and he has them that far apart. There'd be the staircase would be on the end zone, going up to the top floor.
You said somebody had drawn this for you that had done it somewhere else?
Yes, it's
Is this Corey
did.
Johnson?
yeah, Corey Johnson, yes. And then I just had it restaked and surveyed by Henry Lewis Phillips, just to restake it last week.
By my count, you're 1 parking spot short.
Okay.
You've got to have 12 parking spots, and I don't know what the director's comment is, but handicap spots don't count.
No, they don't.
Well, I don't think you were required to have I don't know why he put that, but you're not required to have a handicap spot for,
I mean,
he just did that.
Mr. Nichols, you put it on a
I
plat.
understand, I
and
understand.
We take you at your word. It may not be required. I'm not that familiar with the Life Health Safety Code, but if you designate it handicap, it's not a parking spot for our
Well,
parking.
You can say that is, I've built 7 duplexes in my life. Like I said, I've never had to have a handicap parking on the spot. Now, if you have the house ADA approved, you have to do 3 old doors and,
Oh, I understand. I mean, believe me. Give us a second to digest this, Mr. Nichols.
So there'll be 8 families right there, right?
yes, sir.
Eight times 2 is 16.
It's two families per duplex, so it'd be 8 total families. It's only 4
He
duplexes,
takes the
4 times 2, 8.
The cripple spot. He's got 3 extra if he doesn't have to have them.
So does he have to redo it?
Well, I don't, if he's saying that he doesn't have to have them, I mean, that's an administrative deal. I don't think he has to have them either, if he puts them on the plat, shows them. that
This
they-
is just a rough draft.
We gotta take him in as well.
This is just a rough draft, sir. This is not what, it's not
It's pretty
set in stone.
tight.
That's a big ass right there.
What's the height gonna be, Mr. Nickel, about 35 feet?
Sir?
What
Oh,
is
the
the
width?
height gonna be, about 35?
Oh, yeah, I don't know the height of that. This goes 8 and 8, 16. Shoot, I'd say 24.
All right.
Mr. Chairman, is that behind John Apple's mama?
Well, yeah, of course, John Ackle and William Ackle and
William,
Shirley Ackle
yeah,
Scott,
William,
all their
yeah.
houses. Of course, William's the only one that's left standing, but yeah, that's directly behind those 3 houses.
They're all in.
But there's a pretty big buffer. You know, I grew up over there with Shirley Ackle Scott was my godmother, and Philip and I were St. Mary's for 12 years. There's a big run back there behind that. There's a big,
Mr. Enough for 4?
yeah, I mean, there's pretty good, you see that run behind it is all, that's what we used to run, that little L-shaped behind it, that's what we used to run around as kids. That's not even on his property, that's out of it, and there's a ditch almost where there's a swale or a ditch almost where that purple line is that right? Is it still there, Mr.?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's what I thought, you know.
The surveyor, just let, I think somebody, I've heard somebody said something, the surveyor did say something about there's a small drainage ditch back there.
Yeah.
And we will make sure that it's adjusted right and the water will not go up on anyone's property.
Well, it was always grown up, I mean, we just never got
Yes,
up in
yes.
there as kids.
I got through there a couple days ago and I got ate up with the little bar things. So I want to clear it as soon as I get approval.
All right. Any more questions? for Mr.
I also, my idea is to privately fence the entire property. Whatever code is for the city of Natchitoches. But I'd like to separate it for
R2 to R2 is that there's no requirement for fencing.
No, I just,
And then the
Privacy.
R2 to B, it's the B's responsibility for fencing. So
That's correct.
in absolute terms, you of course can do whatever you want to, Mr. Nichols, but there's no requirement for fencing of any type. Now, it might improve your property, it might help your tenants, it might help the neighbors feel better, but insofar as code requirements,
Yes, sir.
the way you're cited, I mean, Jennifer Adkins, I guess, would probably be the only person that would be required to put a short fence, huh?
Jennifer, and then there's another one.
That just
No, just
tiny,
Jennifer.
tiny piece,
Mhm.
that can't be more than 13, 14 feet. But the point is that you don't have a requirement in the code.
yes, sir.
Might help your neighbor's feelings if you get approved, and you might want to contain your tenants, for lack of a better term. But insofar as the code's required, I don't know of any reason R2 on R2, or R2 on R2, or R2 on R1, or R2 on R3. There's no fencing requirements for those. It's just when you mix business and residential that it becomes an issue. All right. Any more questions for Mr. Nichols? Anyone want to speak on behalf of the application of Nichols? Hearing none, we will move on to those in opposition to Mr. Nichols's application. Mr. Nichols, I would urge you to pay attention because your rebuttal will be limited to issues that are brought up in opposition.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
We'll just start. Mary, you're up front and chomping at the bit, so why don't you come forward? Let's just go down the line.
My name is Mary Striegel. I own a property at 230 Percy Street, which is at the end of Cypress Street. I am the current president of the Natchitoches Historic District Homeowners Association. We have very strong concerns about the rezoning of this. As you know, Natchitoches and this area is one of only 2 National Historic Landmark districts in the state of Louisiana. It is designated that because of the significance of the architecture in the region. Several years ago, and Charlie, you recall this, the Homeowners Association worked with the Zoning and Planning Commission to downzone this area. Owners were given the option, owners of each property were given the option of opting out of downzoning, and if they did not opt out of downzoning, they would go from an R2 to an R1. If you have a historic property on that street that is zoned R2, you cannot build multiple duplexes on that lot. This is one lot. Secondly, this region in the late 1700s, early 1800s was surrounded by water. This was an island. The flood area is right along the area that he is proposing to put his 4 buildings. When you build the parking lot in that area, you're going to push a lot of water onto the properties that are along Cypress. Flooding will be rampant. Ask me how I know. My daughter and I, my husband had owned 161, 163 Cypress Street. The house burned next door. They got permission to build a new house. The owners of the property promised that there would be appropriate drainage. They came in and filled and leveled that lot. All of their water drains under her house. And it sits under the house, and the backyard is always drained. We've spoken to the city about the drainage, the storm drain that's in the back corner of the property. It's always clogged. This area that he proposes to build these houses floods all the time. The third issue that we have is the density of the buildings that we have on that street. These are lots that were developed historically. They're small lots. The buildings are close together. And you're adding 4 more buildings, 8 families, 16 parking lot spaces on a street that is narrow and one-way. The traffic is terrible. People that live on that street will tell you that we're constantly dealing with speeders that come flying down that street. The city, on occasion, writes tickets for it, but it happens frequently. Just the other day, on Saturday, I was talking with Mr. Cordell on his front porch. We had not 1, but 2 cars speeding the wrong way on Cypress, and a police car that was speeding the wrong way on Cypress. This is an area where parking is on the street, it's narrow, we have traffic problems. The homeowners in the area are very, very concerned about this. So let me reiterate, we have a National Historic Landmark District where the houses are significant and important. We have a floodplain problem on that lot, that if you put a parking lot for the buildings there, the water's going to be pushed onto the yards of Cypress Street. And we have a terrible traffic problem in the area. We have a density issue on that street. It's historically developed that way, but we don't need 4 more homes, 16 families. There are plenty of places that one can build duplexes, but why in the National Historic Landmark District? And I do have a question for the commission regarding zoning. If my house is zoned R2, I can't go in and add as many duplexes as I fit it on my property. Why is this one lot being allowed more than one R2 property? More than one 2-family building on this lot?
Because of the square footage of the property. I need to bring up the ordinance for R2, and that will describe.
Well, I mean, first of all, that's the application the gentleman made. It's nothing we've allowed.
No, the question I have is, what does the ordinance allow?
I mean, R2, I mean, I think that's an R2 use. I think multiple duplexes is an R2 use until you stack them together and then they become an apartment building.
So I could put if I could fit another building on my property, it could be R2?
It's 8,000 per. So if you can fit it in there with without waiver, the setbacks, and bringing your parking and stuff up to code, it's just a geometry. It's Chinga or Tetris or whatever you want to call it. If it works, some of it you could do with nothing but submitting a permit request for construction. Now, if you know, a lot of them can't, this is 3/4 of an acre. There's not a lot of property in the historic district, you know, other than, what was it, Summer Tree or whatever they call that thing that got torn down over by y'all's old house. There's not a piece of property like this, so it's not as big an issue, but you know, most of the rest of them kind of fill it up so that if you need another building, there's gonna be, or if you want to put another building in an R2, you probably can't fit it in without a waiver of parking or some kind of setback or something like that. This property just enjoys a really unique size and really unique format that it doesn't require that kind of stuff.
And really unique historic trees. The 2 live oak trees at the beginning of the property on the entrance are both live oaks that are significantly older than 150 years old.
Well, that he's required to get a permit if he wants to. He's got to get permission from the Historic Commission to cut them down, doesn't he?
Correct.
I mean,
And-
those block the entranceway as he plans it.
No, it does not block the entrance. They don't block the entrance. But if you drive
will,
heavy
until the
equipment
Historic
over
Commission
those
does
trees to get to the landlocked lot, to get to the back of that lot, you're going to kill those trees by driving heavy construction equipment over it. So those are just some of my concerns, and I know some of my other neighbors that are here would like to speak as well.
All right, hold on, Mary, let's see, are there any questions by members of the commission? All right, we'll hear from whoever wants to come up next. Thank you, Dr. Strickland. Yeah, please come forward and state your name for the record.
Good evening. Good evening. My name is Kirk Cordell. My wife Jane and I are here. We own the property across, sort of catty-cornered across the street from this property, and we share many of the concerns that were raised here tonight. Cypress is this little tiny street that's flooded with traffic from people who are trying to come across the Kaiser Street Bridge and tear down the road instead of going down Jefferson Avenue. And we have terrible parking problems because a lot of the older houses are divided up into student apartments and there's not enough parking for them. We share the concerns about the flooding. I also own a property on, Sydney, I was going to say Sabine, Sydney, on Sydney Street, which is the corner. And it backs up onto Megan's property that was just discussed where the city has a drain. It comes out, at least according to city engineers, when we talked to them about the flooding problems we were having, is that it comes out into this property, and that's where this is the drainage for all of that. So we're deeply concerned about what happens if it's all paved, whether that will just bring things back. I know that one of the critical pieces of your concern as public officials is whether this is the equity issue, and is it fair to not have it be R2 when the surrounding properties are, but it's different for the surrounding properties because of the historic district. So all of us that have R2 properties around it, including mine, I can't tear down my house in order to build a bunch of apartments, right? So in effect, we don't have the same rights, and you would be granting Mr. Nichols way more development rights than we have, because we would never be allowed to do it.
Tell me why you can't tear down your house.
Because the Historic District Commission wouldn't permit it. Right, so, and that is the protection for the district. We would love Mr. Nichols to come to Natchitoches and build some apartments and some houses anywhere. I mean, there's so many places in Natchitoches that could be built, not on our little street, and to add all that traffic and all these other concerns that have been raised. This is not the place to do it. It's just, it's the historic district's just a small little area. And effectively, these will all become student housing if it's like everything else near the university. And every single person in every bedroom would each have a car. And so each of those apartments with 2 bedrooms, that'd be 4 more cars, for each one. And no matter what the city requires, that's the issue that we have, and why we're just crushed with parking issues all of the time. So we have concerns about the live oaks and all the other stuff as well. But several of us have tried to buy this lot. I know at least 3 people in the neighborhood have tried to purchase the lot just to leave it undeveloped. The owner wouldn't sell it to us because she thought she'd find somebody who could get it developed commercially. But since it was R1, we thought maybe we would be okay, but we really just beg you to leave the zoning the way it is. And we'd be glad to entertain having a single-family house constructed there. We'd be thrilled to have that lot filled in with something. That's all I have. Thank you.
Any questions for Dr.
I've got a question.
Yes, sir.
Is there any other 2-story buildings like that in your district?
Well, there's some intrusions down the street that are the apartment complex.
Yeah, certain apartments.
Yes, sir. That's exactly, that's the place.
And there's the Weinberg Apartments on Poet.
Yeah, those are now 2 townhouses.
Yeah, but it was built as an apartment building.
It was, that's correct.
15 years ago, it was built in 37 as an
You're
apartment
absolutely
building.
right.
It was the first
Also
apartment.
within the historic period of the district, unlike this. So this will not be historic structure.
All right, any other questions for Dr. Cordell? All right.
Thank you very much for the
Thank you,
opportunity to
sir.
speak.
Anyone else would like to speak in opposition to the application of Nichols?
My name's Mark Milliken, and would you mind if I just walk to that, show you the lot that we own, and we've owned for almost 100 years?
Sure.
We will be mostly affected because we own this house right here. 115 Cypress Avenue. Bought by my grandmother from the Taylors in the early 1900s. I'm caregiving for my dad, Joseph Milliken, in that house. 96 years old. A 20-year veteran of the Air Force, as I am. And I am totally opposed to apartment buildings, condos, or duplexes. I think Ms. Striegel said it quite well. Following her's a real tough act, but all the things she said, from flooding to noise to cutting down those trees in the front of that lot, wow.
Mr. Milliken, there was no one talked about cutting down the trees.
I'll bet those trees are coming down. I'll bet they're coming down.
I'm not going to dispute that with you, but what I'm telling you is that no one today said that those trees were coming down. Now, let's get the facts straight here. My job as the arbiter here is to make sure everybody leaves a little bit mad at me. Because if I've done that, I've made everybody talk about stuff they didn't want to talk about. And so, while I understand Dr. Striegel indicated that she thinks that heavy equipment may ultimately kill the trees, she didn't say they were going to be cut down. And Mr. Nichols said that he was not going to cut them down. And I reminded everybody that the Historic Commission prohibits you from cutting them down without their permission. So let's just stick to the facts that we've adduced so far.
Okay, so can I ask him a question then?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm done.
All right, any questions for Mr. Milliken before we move to the next person? Any questions for Mr. Milliken from folks on the commission? Thank you, Mr. Milliken. Yes, ma'am.
My name is Melissa Robinson, and I live on Cypress at 146 Cypress Avenue.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm also opposed to this new development. I did hear you say that it becomes an apartment when it's stacked, correct?
No, when you have more than two of them together, more than two duplexes together.
That are stacked?
Well, this is a duplex because it's one, if you recall, I asked him, were these over and unders or side by sides? And that, the Weinberg apartments, for example, were side by side and stacked. It was 4 apartments in probably doggone near the same footprint that these things were, but there were 4 apartments in it. This is just 2.
So we were just discussing the oak trees. When he starts to develop that property, he's going to have to dig and put concrete there. He may not cut down those trees, but they're going to fall down. The roots go through to the entire back of that property. Anything he develops, that will kill the roots of the trees, and they will fall down. It'll kill them.
Ms. Robinson, will you tell me why you think he has to put concrete down?
Well, what's going to stabilize the buildings?
The buildings or the parking lot?
What is he going to build the buildings on? What's going to stabilize the building? What's going to be the foundation of the apartments?
He could build them on piers. The driveways, we have a provision in HDC for permeable parking and driveways. So, I mean.
So let's talk about the driveway then. Let's talk about the driveway. He'll have to build a driveway to get those parking spots in there. He'll have to pour concrete for that, or he'll do gravel. I don't know what he's going to do. But I do know that those trees.
There's a third option, it's called permeable surface. And I
Yeah.
mean, the Historic Commission worked with us to get that as a third option so that you didn't have gravel and you weren't stuck with gravel or concrete as your only choices. They make some kind of gravel-like substance that the water goes through, unlike parking, and it was specifically done for the historic district. So,
So you did say that when he does build those apartments or whatever he's going to put there?
the duplexes.
Duplexes, well, they look like apartments to me, but that's just me. You said that whenever, if it's rezoned, that he could do whatever he wants with that property. So what if he decides he wants to put the concrete? If it's rezoned, then he can do whatever he wants. That's what you said.
Well, he can do whatever he wants, subject to the planning and zoning and subdivision regulations, and subject to Chapter 16.1 with the Historic District Commission. I mean, he can't go set fire on everything. I mean, he can do, when he puts in R2, he can do whatever he's allowed to and to do in R2 as long as he complies with the requirements of R2. I will tell you this, it's pretty close, he's pretty close to the maximum of what he can fit in there. Is that what you saw from a
Yes, sir.
geometrical standpoint? So that while he might be able to do anything he wants, I'm not sure he can mathematically put any more things in there than he's talking about putting in there right now.
Well, he does say that he's going to go up with the building. I don't know if any of you have seen that property, but the trees are kind of meeting over the property. If he goes up, he'll still have to do some cutting. I mean, no matter what you say or what he says, there will be some cutting, there'll be some damage to the, yes, there will be.
I never said they wouldn't be,
Well, you were
ma'am.
shaking your head, so I mean.
Yes, because I
know what
don't
you
agree
mean.
with you that I said that there would be no cutting.
Well, but if he goes up, if you go, I challenge all of you guys to pass by that property. If he goes up with that building, he will have to cut, because otherwise his roof will run into the trees. So he'll have to cut something in order to go up with that building. So, I mean, it's just not, it's the historic district, it's, one of two, and the type of building he wants to put there, I mean, we would love it if he put a house there. I mean, the R2s that you're saying surround his property are
Wait a
houses.
second, ma'am, I'm not saying anything, Ms. Rock's not
Ms.
saying
Rock.
anything. What she's doing is she's reporting what's on the master planning map as adopted by the city of Natchitoches and the Code of Ordinances. So it's not my opinion, it's not her opinion. It's her opinion that it's R2, just like it's the nurse's opinion that your blood pressure is 125/83. They're just reporting.
Okay, so let me just restate that.
Sure.
So it's been reported that the houses that are surrounding this property are R2.
Correct.
But those R2s, if you take a look at them, they're houses. They're not apartment structures, because, I mean, let's just face it, this is going to be an apartment complex. He may stack it, he may call it something else, but it's going to be an apartment complex, and it's going to have students, and we're going to have issues. So those houses, those R2s that surround his property are houses. If you go down Cypress Street, you'll see. Mr. Mark's house is an R2, but it's a house. He lives in it. The house right next door to on the other side of the property, it's a house. The house is across the street. Dr. Cardell, his house is an R2, but it's a home. He lives in it. So, and they're single-family homes. They're not duplexes or apartments. So, I mean, this is going to be, we can give it a fancy name, but it's going to be apartments.
Well, let me just say one thing in response. I was on here 15 or 20 years ago when we worked with the Historic District Homeowners Association, and we did a comprehensive thing. It took 8 months to a year. Everybody that wanted to opt out could opt out, and they opted out to R2, right, Mary?
No, they opted out from R2 to R1. So for example, my house is R1.
Right. And so all they had to do was pick up the phone. I don't know if Dr. Cordell owned the house when we did that or not. I don't recall. Obviously, the Millikens owned it because they bought it from the Taylor, probably Henry Cook Sr. in the turn of the century. All they had to do was pick up the phone or come down here and drop off and say, I understand I'm R2, please opt me for R1. And so, that being said, the people that are on Cypress that are now complaining that they're R2 and somebody wants to be R2, they never opted for R1, would have cost them absolutely nothing. But now let me throw you a bone here, Ms. Robinson. The folks that have this obviously opted for R1, and now they're trying to go backwards. Either they or their predecessor in title opted to go R1, and now they're trying to go back. So I don't think, I understand where you're coming from, but all the R2s over here should have thought about that 15 years ago, when all they had to do was pick up the phone or come down here to planning and zoning and sign something saying, make me R1, and they'd have been R1. But by the same token, his predecessor in title or his vendor is gonna go R1, and now because they see money, they wanna go R2. And so let's not get caught up in that from that standpoint, because like I say, there was an opportunity for every single person in the historic district to go R1 that didn't cost them a dime. It would have cost them 10 minutes to go see Juanita Fowler and sign a piece of paper. And the entirety of the district could have been R1, except probably for the multifamily structures that were already there. They probably shouldn't have signed it. But everybody else that you just qualified, like Mr. Milliken, they should have done that. Because if you're R2 and you're complaining that somebody next to you wants to be R2, it's a little inconsistent. It's a little rich, especially when you had the opportunity to go R1 at no cost. But once again, I say, by the same token, these folks opted to go R1, and now they want to go R2. So that's just my 2 cents.
Well,
and that's
I will
my
say,
historical prospects. Evidently, I've been here probably longer
well, I will
than anybody
say,
else in here.
I will say that Dr. Cordell was an R1, but when he decided he wanted to renovate his garage apartment, he was forced to go to an R2. He did not want to go to an R2, but he was forced to go to an R2. He was an R1.
Forced meaning that...
Well, he was told if he wanted to renovate that apartment, that garage apartment, he had to be rezoned as an R2.
Because it was no longer a single-family dwelling.
Well, he never renovated it. I mean, so it's still a single family.
Well, all he had to do
But
was
you said people had a chance to opt out. But there was, obviously a person that wanted to remain on.
Well, he opted out and opted, came back in.
Well,
and
no, he
obviously didn't do it.
Well, no, he didn't own the property at the time when you said they were offered to opt out. He purchased it
I'm
as
sorry,
an R1.
everybody and their predecessor in title simply could have,
Right.
at that point in time, could have signed off, and if they were really adamant about it, they could have done that. But like I said, I keep telling you that his predecessor in title wanted to go R1, they had to do something to go R1.
He was an R1 when he purchased that. It was an R1.
No, ma'am,
when
I'm
he
talking
purchased
about Mr. Nichols.
well.
But anyway.
Anyway, so we beat that dead horse. So anyway, we think that, we have a lot of residents that showed up tonight that's opposing this. So it's not just a few of us, and we just feel that it just will not, it'll take away from the integrity of the historic district and with all of the historic homes in that area. There are homes that are on the historical register. My home is one of them. And so I just think it'll take away from the integrity of the district. And that's just my thought. And I think that's everybody's thought.
The person at the podium talks, people at the dais talk, no one else talks.
So that's what we think. We don't want.
You think it's inconsistent with the district?
Correct, yes.
Yeah. Thank you, Ms. Robinson.
Thank you for your time.
I appreciate your time, and I appreciate you listening to me. All right, anyone else want to come forward and speak in opposition to the application of Nichols? Yes, ma'am.
I've heard my name mentioned. I'm Megan Nicholson. I have 161, 163 Cypress, which was my father's property. I'm not going to rehash everything, but I just want it noted that I oppose this because, like my stepmom Mary Striegel said, I've dealt with drainage issues because of the new property that was built next to 161. And it's just the floodplain and the density issue with the traffic on that street and the parking. It's just not a good situation. So I just want it noted that I do oppose this. And I am the same. I would love for you to build a beautiful home on that property. And I get that it's a big piece of property, but I just think it takes away from the integrity too. Thank you.
Thank you, Megan. Any questions for Megan? Thank you, Megan. Anyone else want to speak in opposition to the application of Nichols? I promise not to gavel you if you're at the podium. All right. Then let's go on to Mr. Nichols and have your short rebuttal, Mr. Nichols.
These houses are going to be nice, and I'm a landlord. I know it's all about college kids having availability for housing, and I think there's a lot of kids that doesn't have availability for housing. All the parking will be on my property, not on the street, because the street has very limited parking. I said the drains, the water issues, will be taken care of. The drains I feel are clogged from tree limbs, trees, and all that. But I'm taking all the grass and all the grown-up stuff out of there. There's no trees on my property except the front two trees, which I believe, because it's 25 foot from the center of the road to your property line, through your property line, is city property. Those trees, I believe, are on city property. I would definitely not take those out. They're too beautiful for it. The rest of my property does not have a tree. The only thing they have is trees on the fence line that are grown up wild trees. I didn't see any other tree that wasn't worth keeping. They're just wild trees. All the houses around me are rentals from college kids. It's like the house right beside me, opposite of my property, has 5 college football players living next door. And they all it's an outdated house. My houses will be up to code, electricity code, plumbing code, everything up to par with today's society. It would bring value to your houses. There's many houses in that area that they're I would say dilapidated, but they're very not taken care of. They need updating. And what I will bring is updated housing, and like I said, no college kids or no parking will be anywhere except on my property. It will be blocked off. I said, and also I have 2 upcoming kids. In 3 years, I got a daughter that's coming here for school. I have 2 houses on the lake already. So I have built houses, and I'm 5 miles down the road, and I can get them rented just like that, because if I had a rental, because people have no housing. The college kids have no housing around here. I'm actually building another one on 494 also right now. They just poured the slab yesterday. Just talking about the water. The water's going to be directed. If it's any natural flow of the property, it's going to have either a catch basin, some type of drainage that's going to keep it from getting blocked up. I don't want water on anyone's property. That's really about all I say. I'm going to have well-kept property, up-to-date property, and
Mr. Nichols, let me ask you
things
this.
for my kids.
Did you provide this information to this Mr. Janson that did your plat?
I just told him to see based on his specialty, which he's a drafter and planner.
So what you said was it was a 25-foot center from the center to the property line. Well, according to what Mr. Janson has provided us, it's only a 30-foot apparent right-of-way, so that would be 50. Assuming the street is in the center, that's only 15 feet. So I meant.
So from the center of the road, 15. So the other 15 foot, would it be 10 foot from you talking about where the trees are at?
What you said
From
it
the
was
curb?
25 foot from the center.
That's what I believe. It's always 25 foot from the middle of the road is the property line.
Under what theory?
But it might be 50 foot. I don't know that for a fact. Yeah, that's just,
Because I don't know many 50s there, 25s.
because I just
I've seen some
measured,
60. I mean, your document you provided us shows 30 foot.
okay, it's whatever the Natchitoches Parish.
Sorry, you gotta be specific. I mean.
Well,
you-
I'm
you're
just saying, if it's 20, the distance I was talking about was the trees being on city property, saying they won't be taken out anyway because that's city property. And I believe those trees, those 2 trees that they're talking about are on city property.
It's just a math problem. And
Actually, if y'all drove by there recently, you'll see the stakes, which is probably, I think, behind the trees. So I think the trees are on property. Isn't it?
So, and one other thing I just want to correct you on, you talk about, you know, the other residents in here about their houses not being up to code, and that you would build something up to code. I mean, I want to make sure that you understand, like the Weinberg Apartments, they probably don't have it anymore.
Yeah, that's
but they could still have unvented space heaters because it was built in 37.
Correct.
So the fact that something does not meet the current code does not mean it is not up to code, because it is a non-conforming use, which the vernacular sometimes is a grandfathered use. And I imagine that there's a heck of a lot of houses down there that have non-conforming uses because they've been there 50 years. And I think it's kind of disrespectful to talk about.
I'm not talking about code based on electrical and plumbing. I'm talking about just
Man,
upkept.
All I can do is you talk about up to code, and all I can take you is at your word. I beat up on everybody today, and I just felt like, you know, I'm just trying to get. So any more questions for Mr. Nichols? Discussion by commission members. Pardon? No, ma'am, your time, all we got was his for, and then the against, and he could only he could talk in rebutting what you all said, and then the public discussion is over, and now it's discussion among members of the dais or the commission at this time. So is there any discussion by commission members?
Yeah, Mr. Chair. Have you considered putting less than 4 of those apartments back
Yes, sir,
there?
it's just whatever we could fit, whatever you guys, yes, I could, it's also a consideration. But if the housing is limited, if I could put 4 on there, I would like to, because housing is limited for, my daughter's about to come here and she'll be living there for 4 years. And then my son's right behind her.
You have a question?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I want to ask you something. Do we have a problem here, like with the historic district with this?
No matter what we do, they've got the final veto.
Right. And
say over the configuration and the parking. They could require, as I was telling Ms. Robinson, they could require him to not use a concrete or gravel driveway to go with his permeable parking, or do the drive in gravel and the parking in permeable stuff. So I mean, while you like to say that they have stylistic control, they really got a little bit more control than that.
Right. And so my other question too was, they was concerned about the flooding. Is that a city problem or what? The flooding back, or what?
Well, he's bound, under the civil code, he's bound to receive and discharge water in the same manner this property's been doing forever. So, I mean, he's got the obligation to make sure that he takes water at the same rate and puts it out in the same rate and in the same spot as it's doing right now.
Okay.
Now, if you've got something that's blocked like Joy has, now that's a city public works issue that they need to get over there and fix.
Right.
But I mean, we can't operate under the assumption that the city is gonna not do their job. The public works department's not gonna do their job. Anything down here? Ladies?
I was wondering about noise ordinances. I wonder if that's also or an unspoken concern. Is that something to consider? Is that something that's?
I mean, it's sort of like when we looked at that Tapas deal, you know, we can't assume that they're gonna not follow the law. But I will tell you this, when the city did that brewery there, they put an automatic, because they were concerned about that, Alexa, and they put, I think, a deal in there that if they got 3 noise citations in a year, that the city could cancel the lease on the brewery, and of course, they've got hundreds of thousands, if not. So, I mean, you know, it's always a concern. And of course, the city at least acknowledged in that lease that it was easier to control them through the lease than it was through the criminal code. You know, you get 2 strikes on you, you fix to lose a multi-$100,000 brewery, you lose the lease on it, you know, people start getting right. That sending the cops out there to write a $150 ticket doesn't get anybody's attention really, or $250 or whatever it is. Does the commission have a pleasure?
I move we approve.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Bernard Condy. Let's have a roll call vote. Ms. Donna?
Charles Whitehead III.
I don't vote except in case of a tie.
Excuse me.
That's no problem.
Mike Lewis. Isaac Lewis.
No.
Wait, one at a time, Mr.
One
Mike
at a time,
Lewis.
hang on.
Okay. Mr.
Wait,
Michael
wait.
Lewis.
Denied.
Mr. Isaac Lewis.
Denied.
Mr. Bobby Claiborne.
Denied.
Miss Anita DuBois.
Yes.
Miss Alexa Bernard Conde.
Yes.
Miss Sadie Sawyer.
Yes.
Mr. Walter Johnson.
No.
That's 4-3. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
All right, so that stands denied. This, for some reason, they still take these up on the 9th, the 23rd, even though they were denied at the city council. So I would suggest that folks show up because they can take a different tack than we did on the 23rd, even though we denied it. And I appreciate everybody's patience. I hope everybody that came up to the podium felt like they got treated fairly. They may have to say some things they didn't like, but that, once again, as the chairman, I feel like I get to get people, I want to hear the bad stuff just like the good stuff. But in any event, thank you, Mr. Nichols. Thank you, folks. That is all of the new business, Madam Director.
That is?
Report of office activities.
No, well, right now, we have Mr. John Putti.
Yes, John, stand up and introduce yourself. He's our new administrative assistant, or what's it titled?
He's our administrative assistant.
John, tell him what your name is.
John Putti.
John Butte. I went in there the first day he was there, and he had these ladies not gonna be able to find anything for about a month, because John got it all organized where John could find it. Job security.
Yes.
Glad to have you, John. That's it?
That's it.
Reverend Claiborne?
Make a motion to approve, adjourn.
Second by DuBois. All in favor, say aye.